Hi scrapbookers, Megan here with another challenge process video. And for this challenge, Ronnie and I are going to do a grid layout. This is the layout that I'm going to be scrap lifting. And I get a lot of my layout ideas from Pinterest, which normally my layouts turn out a lot different than the one that I actually get inspiration from. I don't normally stay with the exact same layout. So here I am just picking out papers, and for this layout I'm going to use the Copper Mountain kit from Studio Calico, which was from January of this year, so January 2014. And I have the main kit and the Project Life kit, and then also I have one of the add-ons, and I think it was called Fremont Glades. And I have a cold right now, so I'm sorry for all the sniffling. My head just feels like it's going to explode. So it's not very fun. I was kind of afraid I wouldn't be able to do this voiceover, but I'm feeling okay. It's just not very fun. Okay, so I'm just kind of looking through all of this stuff, trying to figure out what I want to use on this layout. And I just had this one picture that I wanted to do of my boys sharing this toy on Christmas Day. And so I'm just kind of looking at the stamps trying to think, oh, do I want to use these? And so I just decided to set them aside because I wasn't sure. I absolutely loved this triangle paper, and so I wanted that to be my background, and I knew that right away. Don't you just love it when there's those papers that stand out and you're like, oh yes, I am definitely using that one. And then that blue paper I wanted to be kind of like a mat. And so here I am just trying to figure out what size I want it to be. And I cut it down a little too small, but it turns out okay. And then I decided I'm going to just use these Project Life cards instead of cutting up paper like the layout from Pinterest did. And so I'm just kind of trying to fit them all along here. I'm just picking out ones that would kind of go with all those colors that are on the triangle paper. So I'm going with reds and grays and oranges. So I kind of fiddle with this for quite a while, trying to just figure out what I want to do. Project Life cards are really fun to use on layouts because they're already pretty small and they're easy to layer with, so it's kind of nice. And then I remembered there were 4x6 cards, and so I thought, well, maybe there would be a 4x6 card that I would like better, and I could just cut it in half or whatever. But there weren't that many to choose from. I think only like 6 come in a kit or something. So I didn't end up picking any of those. I got this other triangle paper that's right there that I have in my hand, and I'm cutting the strip off of it now. I'm just going to use that as another layer on top of the Project Life cards. So I'm just going to measure how much I want to cut off, how big I want the top mat to be. And I'm going to cut them all down. And I really love how this layout turned out. I was kind of not really happy about where it was going, but by the end I was like, yeah, I really like this layout. So So here I'm just gluing down all of the Project Life cards that I chose. And I decide to move the whole mat over to the left side of the layout. And I really like the back of that green triangle paper. It just has some feathers on it, and it has a lot of the colors from the layout. And so I decide to do that as another mat, or another layer, sorry. And now I'm just kind of trying to pick out some other papers to go on top of the cards. And so now I'm trying to figure out if I really want to use that paper on that a happy moment card. And I wasn't sure, like I really liked a happy moment and I wanted to leave it there, but it was a little bit too, like the paper wasn't going to be, it was going to be covering it up. Sorry, I can't think. I've got a cold and my head is, I just can't think lately. It was going to be covering it up, but there would be like the part of the A and part of the T that you could see. And so I knew that that would bother me. So I decided to cut off the bottom and make it just a little bit shorter. And I liked how that looked. So I was okay with it being different than the other layers. So I started to put those down. And when I got to that one, I decided that I wanted it to be centered because in the middle of that card, there was a little white area where you could, put journaling or something. And so I made it be able to center in the middle of that area. And then I decided I thought it might look kind of cool if I pulled up the edges of all the papers. And so that's what I'm doing here. And I really like how that looks. So now I'm thinking that I need to map my photo, and so I'm going to use the back of that paper that I put on top of the a happy moment card. And for next week's challenge, we are going to be doing die cuts, and what we want to do is use as many die cuts on our layout as we can and to make embellishments with our die cuts. So like cut out a heart and then sew a star on top of it, or something like that. Like just make your own embellishments out of die cuts. And so that's going to be our challenge for next week. So kind of get yourself thinking about that. We would love to have you guys join in on these challenges with us and see your layouts. If you do come up with a layout, you could PM us a picture or a link to where you load your layouts in your gallery, because we would love to see what you guys come up with. That would be fun. Okay, so here I am trying to place this doily. And I like how that is, so I decide to put it down. And now I'm trying to figure out what to do with the title. I kind of came up with or had an idea in my head to do the word play, but then I had these die cuts that came in the kit, and one of them said on and one of them said off. And so I thought, oh, that works so perfect. And I really liked the green. It kind of went with the color scheme. And so I decided to pull those off, and that was going to be the title. And I had some wood veneers letters, but they were kind of too scripty because I just wanted to put or in the middle so that the title would be on or off, and then I wanted to do a question mark. But yeah, the wood veneer alphabet was too scripty. The R just looked funky. So I decided to use this other alpha that came in the kit. And now I think I'm trying to clean up a little bit so that my desk isn't as messy. And I'm thinking about using this arrow. And then I had to step away for a little bit. I think I actually stepped away for a couple of days and didn't come back for a while. So I came back and I did like that arrow. So I decided to put it on the back of this blue paper just to kind of make it stand out a little bit more. And then I was going to put it on the picture. So I cut that out. And I decided to put it right there. And I just put one glue dot, or not glue dot, pop dot on one side of it, and then the other part on the picture, which the picture is pop dotted up. I don't remember seeing that, but I did put the picture on pop dots. I don't know if maybe I turned the recording off for that or something, but. And now I'm going to do some misting. I love the Heidi Swapp Color Shine, and I pulled the pop dot paper over to put it over the picture, and then I was like, oh, wait a minute, there's holes in that. Like, duh, that was dumb. So I'm just trying to find something to cover up the picture because I didn't want to get anything on the picture. And then I decide to use a gray color, and I believe it's called Tinsel. Tinsel, yeah. And I just kind of do it all around the layout. I like the way it looks with it just kind of going around the layout, kind of draws your eye in toward the picture. And then I use a green color shine as well. I think it's called Chartreuse. Hang on, let me grab it. Yes, it is called Chartreuse. And the spray, or the mist, kind of got everywhere, so I'm just kind of cleaning it up. And that takes a little bit for that to dry. So I'm just kind of looking at the layout while it's drying and trying to figure out what else I want to do. And I had these stars that came in the kit, and there was a green one. So I pulled it off, and I was thinking maybe I could use some of these chipboard stickers right there. And the mat didn't want to dry, so I went and grabbed a rag to wash it off. Okay, so now I'm trying to figure out where to put that star, and I like it right there, so that's where I leave it. And I pull out these chipboard stickers, and I pull off an ampersand. And I'm just going to glue that star down, the clip down, so that I don't have to take everything off again. So I got that down, and then I put the ampersand to the left, and I'm just trying to figure out where else I can embellish on this layout. And so I add another and on or not on, sorry. I can't think, I'm sorry. So I add another chipboard ampersand, and then two little candy dots is what those are called. One above and one below, and then I put a candy dot up there by that star too, eventually. And I pull out some of my enamel dots that I made myself, and I use a dark blue. And I just put one at each of those clusters. And now I'm going to glue them down. And there was just one more of those candy dots left, and so I'm thinking, okay, I need to add one more embellishment center. And so I pull out these tags that came in the kit, and I'm trying to figure out where to put it. And I end up liking it right there. I keep trying other places, but I do like it right there. So I go ahead and glue down that little circle tag, and I had a chipboard sticker that said "One Fine Day." So I put that at the top, and then I put that extra yellow candy dot next to the "One Fine Day." And then I'm thinking, well, it kind of needs something else. So I pull out the stamps from the kit, and there was one that it was like a phrase, but at the end it said "Happy Place." And so I thought that would be a good thing to have stamped there underneath "One Fine Day." So I pull out my Brilliant Blue Stampin' Up! Stamp pad, and I stamp that, and then I put the candy dot back down. And now I'm just cleaning off the stamp. And then I realized that part of the word that was above happy got on the paper, and so I'm just going to move the One Fine Day chipboard piece down a little bit more so it kind of covers up the few lines that were above happy. And you probably couldn't even really tell, but you know, it was bothering me, so I just changed it anyway. And so here I am cleaning off the stamp. And then I put it away, and I am all done with the layout. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope you'll join in. Let us know if you do join in, and we will definitely come over and see your layout. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope you'll join us again next week. Bye.